It's currently 7:26, Monday, November 30th, 2015. Welcome to Evening Tea. Today with us we have Hassan Qureshi.
Hi, hello.
He's our friend at Bangor High.
Yeah.
He recently
A
moved
few years ago.
to Bangor, Maine, hometown.
After having lived in Queens, New York, his father's going to pharmacy school. So we're gonna talk to him today about his experience with the change from New York to Maine and what he likes to do, or just his life in general, I guess. But so how are you?
How are you doing today?
I'm well.
That's good.
So when did you find out that you're moving to New York? I mean, Bangor, from New York.
Well, I mean, my dad got accepted to the university here.
Awesome.
Yeah, and as soon as he got accepted, I already knew that I was going to move here. I actually wanted to come here beforehand, but you see,
Why?
So you were excited to come here in a way.
I was. I really wanted to find a place to live and know where it's good to live. But you see, we're Pakistanis, and we're brown. We're really, really slow at everything, literally everything. And my dad waited till the last day to move. Literally, I was giving him a deadline, every day of the week. We have 4 days to move, 3 days to move. We literally moved everything the last day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you get a U-Haul or something, or how did you move everything up here?
We got an Enterprise truck, and
Okay.
it was really expensive. It was $3,000 a day.
Yeah.
Or something. It was a big truck too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Maine is a completely different place than New York. So
Yeah.
what was your first impression when you drove here? You're like, there's nothing here.
I mean, so this is why I wanted to come here beforehand, because I really wanted to see where to live and where the neighborhood was good.
Yeah.
So we drove our huge Enterprise truck into, I'm not going to say where it is.
Yeah,
it might
that's
be-
fine.
But we drove our huge truck through the neighborhood, and there were just people who didn't have clothes at all, and it was near 2 degrees Celsius. It was really cold, and people were completely naked, and people were smoking, and maybe it was a bad neighborhood, but I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
all these naked people with my mother over here, and it was just a terrible sight at first. I mean, then we talked to the real estate agent, we went to other places,
Yep.
and we eventually got a better neighborhood.
So you didn't necessarily have a bad first impression, but you had a different impression that you
Than
were
you were
expecting.
expecting. So why were you actually excited to move to Maine, or was it just so you could make sure you were living in a good
It
spot?
was just to make sure I was going to be living in a good place.
Had you heard anything about Maine, I guess?
I had a friend who came to Bangor actually.
Oh, really?
And this is all of my friends in New York City currently are still making fun of me for going to Maine. They actually didn't know it was a state. This is how in Maine you guys might not realize this, but Maine is not heard of by other people.
Yeah. Oh, we know.
In New York,
Yeah.
Yeah, in New
every
York.
place I travel, I hear about people are like, Maine, it's a beautiful state. It's
And
like,
then you go to Maine.
yeah. Oh, you live way up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a rich friend, and then he went here and he ate lobster here, and he told me that lobster is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's whenever I hear someone mention the word Maine on a television show, I get amazed, and because it never happens. But so tell us about the truck incident on the hill. What you were driving the truck. You told us
This Enterprise truck, I think it was.
Yeah,
You were moving.
You're moving, and you were trying to drive the truck up a very steep hill in downtown Bangor, I believe.
Oh
Yeah.
So I mean, my dad didn't really drive at all prior to coming.
Well, you live in New York, so you probably walk.
We bought a car. It was a really old car from my uncle. We bought it after 7 years of living in New York City. Then I lived for 6 more years, and we only used the car twice.
Oh.
One was 'cause my great uncle came. and the other one was there was like a death in the family. Those are the only 2 times we ever used the car. We took that car here, and it just broke down. We just couldn't use it. So my dad never really drove a car, and now he's driving a truck.
Yeah, an Enterprise truck.
An Enterprise truck.
And in New York, it's pretty flat. I mean, it's...
Yeah, and we really hate the roads here, in all honesty. Like, it's like, imagine a vertical surface, and imagine driving...
So like a wall, basically.
Yeah, imagine a wall, and driving a huge, like, 50-ton truck up it, and you're not gonna get anywhere. And I actually don't really remember that incident. Like, I remember it happening, but
You said your mother was crying because.
oh
of
yeah,
this.
yes, but
And it was just a hill in downtown Bangor,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Which
yeah.
isn't.
now that I think about it, it's dumb. But like, I mean, to a guy who's never driven a car before and now he's driving a truck, I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. I'm
I mean,
sure.
I remember the incident, but I don't remember what happened, how we got through it though.
Yeah.
Which I would probably ask my dad what happened.
Yeah.
But
So currently we're at school, so there's going to be
so
background
there's
noise
background,
to add to the setting.
Yeah.
So you've lived here for a while now. What is your impression now? Because I mean, you make remarks all the time
So,
about living in Maine.
I'll give my all honesty opinion now, okay? So, there's really nothing to do at all. Like,
we know that.
Okay, when you lived in
everybody-
New York, what did you do for fun?
Yeah.
for fun, I went to like anyone's house I wanted whenever I
And you
wanted.
just walked there probably and got on a bus.
Yeah,
or
over here,
whatever.
like I have to wait till for my dad or for like a friend to
Because the
come.
houses are so far apart.
Yeah.
And like, even if I just wanted to like watch a movie or something, I would literally just walk down the street or something. Or
Yeah.
like I had 2 residences in New York. I had a house and I had an apartment. My apartment had Burger King, Popeyes, Papa John's, and a sushi place like right in front of me. And there was a wall gyro stand like right in front of my apartment building. Like, there's not much to do here like at all.
Yeah.
But in terms of people, the people are extremely nice. Like that's probably the only reason why I like Maine.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah,
Like,
there's gonna be very few
Yeah.
people that you see in the daytime,
yeah. Like,
but the people that you see will be pleasant
Yeah,
overall.
yeah.
Yeah, like in New York City, I mean, you walk down a simple street, you're gonna get like death threats. Like,
Yeah.
it's actually terrible. Like even in middle school, like we form groups, and we would constantly have like, not like fights, like just straight
Yeah.
up for no reason at all. Like I can stare at you for 3 seconds, and this guy will get like mad at me. And they start beating me up.
So you're saying in middle school, things were completely different. You came here, middle
Yeah,
school,
yeah.
completely different. So
like-
what's the difference in schools in general?
In schools,
Education.
People are a lot more aggressive, like outside of Maine, and by that I mean like, so I'll be honest. In New York City, we have mafias, we have gangs,
Yeah.
we have extreme violences, and any aggression will form like it will cause people to get hurt. Over here, like I came here, like I actually expected like people to like push me around and I'll push them back and like we'll get in fights. It was nothing like that. Like no one.
Have you ever seen a fight? Ever?
Here. You haven't seen
no,
one.
no. I saw
Yeah.
one like on Facebook, but like
That's
never-
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and over here, everyone's really nice. Like, even if you talk to someone here, it's
Even if they hate you, they're gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, I mean, people might talk behind your back. No one talks behind my back. I don't think.
Well, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah, but like, but in New York City, like, you know who talks behind
Yeah.
your back,
Yeah.
and you know how to get rid of them.
So I remember when you came in 8th grade, you didn't talk.
Yes. Yes.
you were silent almost the entire year. So was that because you weren't comfortable talking, or you didn't know what to talk about, or you were in shock from the kindness that was?
I was really confused because I was like, okay, people are gonna like start messing with me soon. Like, I was really shocked. It was a combination of that. I didn't really know anybody either, was a combination of those
Yeah.
two things.
Yeah. So now you don't stop talking. So why is that?
Now I've just gotten comfortable with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how people act in
yeah,
general,
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
And like in New York City, you have to be careful about anything you say. By anything you say, I mean like anything you say. Like I can, my words can be phrased in a manner that like even slightly offend you, and like people will lurch at you. Like it's actually bad. And over here, like I've learned that you're not always going to be consequenced for what you say.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So you just say anything you want.
yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, but I've learned that I'm not gonna be like beat up for everything.
Yeah. So what do you do here for fun? I know this is
Oh my god. So I've gained, and
as opposed to going like out to eat and hanging with
I've
friends.
gained
Like,
45 pounds in the last 4 years I've lived
Well,
here.
that's
I mean,
sort of expected.
so you don't do a lot of sports in general.
yeah, I mean, I don't know how people can like.
What?
You spend like 3 hours out after school, and then you come home and it's like 9 and no one's doing anything.
Or you come home and it's like 4 and it's like midnight, or it seems like
Yeah.
midnight
Seems
because
like
it's dark.
so
But
dark.
like people in my neighborhood, they say nothing at all. Like no one says anything to anyone, and it's like dead silent after like 6. It's so annoying, and there are no like stores open after like 9 or 10. over
That's
here.
true.
Yeah, that's true.
Like in New York City, you could go like at 4 a.m. and like buy a burger or something.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
Like I find that extremely annoying.
yeah.
Um,
That's why we have McDonald's, but the nearest McDonald's is gonna be.
but McDonald's isn't 24/7.
Oh yes.
It is.
Most
Yeah,
of them
it
are,
is.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad has kept on telling me it's not.
But they don't sell halal meat, do they?
Yeah, but I think like a veggie burger.
Oh yeah.
So, for an outlook, what we've talked about what you did before you came here, what you are doing currently,
Mhm.
which is not much. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Besides studying, we know you're
But that's
a pretty good student.
Yeah. Very good.
How many hours do you spend a day studying? Because I know
Studying?
the first thing I see in the morning when I come here is you with your hand on your head, stressed out because you're
I mean-
studying.
I mean, it depends on a lot of things. Like for English, I like almost never study. Spanish, I almost never study. For math, I do sometimes study. I just like to get the pattern of what's going on. I mean, it
Yeah.
depends on the subject. Chemistry, like for moles, I kind of study, but like it's moles. What are you gonna study?
Yeah.
But like right now about like geometry, like
Molecular
geometry,
geometry,
molecular
yeah.
geometry. I mean that's kind of hard. Now I've kind of understood it, but I still
Yeah.
have to know.
So once you understand something, you
Yeah.
study it less.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
So which would make sense.
Yeah.
So for your outlook, what do you plan to do when you move on after high school? Do you plan to stay here? Obviously, I assume not. But
So it depends on wherever my dad gets a job, because now we only have 1 more year of high school, all of us.
Yeah.
And wherever my dad gets a job, that's wherever I'll spend my senior year, and that may be here, and that may not be here. But like after that, we're all gonna go to wherever we want to study,
Mhm.
and that I want to do pre-med wherever anyone will accept me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And after that, I want to become a physician, maybe general practitioner or whatever. It depends. But after that, I want to try to like help treat people that are poor and like they can't afford it, because money is a big thing in society
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and when someone so like my dad's a pharmacist right now. He's given like millions of cases. I look at them as well. So in a typical case, a person is diagnosed with something. You're supposed to diagnose him with something, my bad. And you're given criteria which he has. So like he'll have an X-ray, he'll have an examination of some sort, and those examinations, those X-rays, they cost money. Like a simple X-ray can cost above $100, and
Yeah.
like for
and you have to do them to
Yeah.
a certain point. Just
yeah, but like a homeless man who comes in and the doctor says, okay, I don't know what you have, but I need, let's do an X-ray, maybe I can find something, and maybe that X-ray reveals water in the lungs, okay? Now, without that X-ray, the doctor's not going to know. Oh, that guy has water in his lungs. And if he's homeless, he's going to be like, no, it's okay, I won't take the X-ray. So he's never going to get diagnosed with a certain disease or a certain...
Without money.
Exactly. So, I mean, if you can't even be diagnosed if you don't have money, how are you going to be treated if you don't have money? And in the US, people will treat you. It's not like they're going to let you die, but you'll probably spend like the rest of your life paying it off. If you don't have insurance, and some insurances are cheap, they don't pay as much. They'll have like a $500 deductible, and you'll be afraid to even give that $500 up. And it's really a piss off.
Yeah.
In that manner, that people won't get treated or diagnosed, because that can lead to death, and it's a terrible thing.
So, in preparation for this, I know you mentioned about your summer camp that you plan on doing, or summer program, I guess. Will you explain that a little bit?
So it's at a laboratory, and they're going to train me with many doctors.
You said in Bar Harbor?
Yes.
Possibly.
It's either Bar Harbor or Connecticut, and they have two completely separate campuses. But they'll train me in different technologies and how to use their equipment and stuff. And then they'll ask me to make a research project, and I'll be given a wide array of equipment and people I can use, and I can eventually come up with a research project. And after I do become a doctor, I do wish to like pursue research, and it will help me in the long run. So
doctors get paid quite a bit of money. I mean, pretty good.
Yeah.
So with this money, do you think you'll be able to buy your dream car? What's your dream car?
Oh, well, I want a Lamborghini. But that is very metaphorical. I mean, I'll probably get a Maserati. I mean that's different. I mean, I don't think I'm honestly. I mean, I will say, oh, I want a Lamborghini or something. I'm not that dumb to actually get a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I mean.
And 6 or 7 wives? 8.
Oh, I'm debating on 8 or 9.
Okay. So in other categories, who are you going to vote for president? Are you going to be old enough to vote at this election?
I'm like 12 days off or something.
Yeah. If you could, then who would you vote for?
Not Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump, he's just an extremely bad person all around. Like, first he just takes the entire Mexican race and just calls basically everyone drugs and rapists, and then says some are good people. I mean, just by that, he should have been like out of the race, not like disqualified, but like the people should have been the Republicans. Even though I'm a liberal, Republicans should have stood up and been like, no, this is not us.
Just people as a whole, like.
Yeah, but no, they didn't. After that, he makes fun of women. He actually, I can't say that, but he made fun of a lot of, I'll say it. He raped his ex-wife. I mean, like, he's done so many things against women as well. And then he wants to ID all Muslims. And then he wants to close down mosques and stuff. Right now, he's claiming all Muslims celebrated on 9/11. Believe me when I say this, Muslims had more sorrow than anyone on 9/11. I mean,
speaking of Muslim,
because
yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because it became a tendency for Americans to say, "Oh, Muslims performed the attack on 9/11," but that's completely untrue.
It's so easy to generalize and say,
but
a certain.
But you're absolutely right. I could completely understand that if I were being blamed, I guess, for something that I had nothing to do with and was completely against. But
even I, as a Muslim, whenever I'm obligated to say to every brother and sister I meet, Assalamu alaikum. What that means is, may there be peace be upon you. That's obligatory on all Muslims.
Yeah.
Thousands of years before, what we're talking about. Muslims went to war. Yeah, we did go to war. But when we did go to war, we were ordered not to kill an old person, not to hurt a woman, not to hurt a tree. We're going to war. People are trying to kill us, but we have to take care of all these things. And how can we destroy two twin towers within the center of New York City, killing thousands of innocent lives? I mean, that's just not us.
Yeah. So more about Donald Trump, but that's one of the. That's probably the worst thing he has said.
Yeah.
I can't believe that people still support him when he's saying things like this. Still, he's continuing to. It's not. I mean, if he had said something bad and then genuinely regretted it and took it back and stopped after the first time, then I could. I mean, people make mistakes. They misspeak and whatnot, and I mean, but since he does it every time he speaks,
and he's regretless.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a censor, and he doesn't care.
And do you want that person going? He has to have foreign relations with nations in the Middle East. Do you want that person doing that?
I mean, recently he just made fun of a disabled person, a reporter for the New York Times, and he has gone down like 10 points, but he's still like the major candidate for Republicans. He still has a huge threshold among everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's disgusting. And, I mean, that's scary too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting us interview you.
Yeah.
This is.
Thank you for coming in.
Well, it was really good to have Hassan speak with us.
Yeah, we've known him for quite a while, but we've never really had a conversation quite like that with him.
And that's kind of what the interesting thing about these podcasts are. You get to learn about people in a different perspective.
Yeah, we know him from school and spend time with him in classes and whatnot, but we don't know him very well outside of school, so it was good to talk to him more about his life and his perspectives, I guess, on the world today.
And what's kind of interesting is right after this conversation with Hassan, Gabe and I go to class. We're both in the same English class, and we had was it a surprise essay? Because we didn't actually hear about it.
It was just a time.
But there was a timed essay writing today, and it was about what we believe about diversity in America. And
or in the world.
Should we build a wall between Mexico and America to separate ourselves from what we believe are the troubles?
Yeah.
Or can we say that's wrong? We shouldn't put one column of certain people's beliefs and terminate all of them.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to just finding the ones who are actually causing us harm.
Yeah.
And
which is and to say that it's as Hassan mentioned earlier, he called all Mexicans, or not he as in Hassan, he as in Donald Trump, called all Mexicans rapists and drug addicts and murderers, and he said some of them are nice.
Yeah.
But
that's basically saying let's get rid of
all
homework. Let's get rid of all of our homework except for
the stuff,
the easy homework. I guess. Which is impossible to do. You need it all because it takes away the fact the race as a whole.
Yeah, it's
culture.
Yeah. In my essay, I discussed how it's necessary for all nations to work together to end things like immigration issues and hunger and gender issues and race issues and environmental destruction and whatnot. But it's still, we can't just say, okay, we're all one people. Let's disregard all of our differences because you can't. Because
that's what defines us as a nation.
Exactly.
The differences.
And we shouldn't think so much of the groups as nations with different governments, but as groups of people with different cultures
and different backgrounds in general.
And you can't find one solution to solve an issue that's a world issue, like hunger. That exists everywhere in the world. You can't find one solution to that, because you might not be able to distribute or spread it around in a certain way that you can in one area than you can with another. So by understanding different cultures or being informed about them, you're more able to make a educated decision. Yeah.
Part of my essay was you basically summed up what my essay was, and I hope a lot of people did that, because
hopefully.
That's just the truth. I believe.
Yeah.
But part of my essay was explaining history in the fact that at first we killed off all the Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
We settled, or not us, but all these different nations settled in America. That's what makes this America, is the difference in cultures in general coming together and working together as a whole, as one, what we call America.
As well as we can, which isn't very well sometimes. But
what we should.
We should do, yeah.
But it wasn't always like that. We killed off the Native Americans in mass quantities.
Yeah.
It was actually terrible.
Yeah, it was.
But eventually, I shouldn't say eventually, because there's still few people, that's why we're talking about this, who don't believe that working together is the solution.
Yeah.
But one of the examples that I gave was Samoset. Certain tribes, Native American tribes, came together with the Pilgrims, and they helped them, and they familiarized them with the American, or what was the new land, the new world for the Pilgrims, and it really improved the quality of life for the Pilgrims.
Mm-hmm.
And in trade, the Pilgrims gave them goods, I believe. I don't know exactly.
There were also a lot of conflicts between them. Not necessarily.
There were probably more conflicts than agreements.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
When they did work together,
it
showed
all throughout. Even now we're more respectful, but there's still a lot of racism with Native Americans. But like Trail of Tears and whatnot, that continued through 19th century and on into the early 20th century. But it still exists, but most people realize that most people aren't so against diversity as they used to be, but there are still a few who are completely against diversity and accepting new cultures, and there are a lot of people who are xenophobic in America who don't believe that we should accept refugees who, when it's the responsibility as coming together as one nation and not one nation, coming together, all nations as one group of people. It's the responsibility to help those in need, and people argue, well, they should go back to Syria. Why are they coming here? And then because
if we turned away all of these people who wanted to come to America, for example, Mexico. I guess all the people coming from Mexico. And if we built a wall, it would be extremely difficult to get over. Mm. And even then, the people who are bad enough are going to come anyway.
The people who are coming for bad reasons,
and it's
just
going
to murder or rape or anything like that, which is the same percentage as is in America or any other country. It's not. Mexicans are not more prone to that than any other group of people.
And it's just going to deflect the people
who need help or are trying to. Just the people.
And the good people who we're trying to accept because we're America. I guess.
And that's true wherever there are immigrant and migrant issues. It's a big problem, and it's good that the people in our class are able to, or are being informed of it, I guess, and are forced to think about it, even though they should. It's good. Like I was talking about earlier, I haven't really had a conversation like that with him, but it's good. Makes me very happy that with his life he wants to do something like provide medical assistance for those who can't afford it, and even with insurance. with insurance, it makes it so you don't have to pay for a $60,000 surgery. But if you can't afford the monthly fee, then what are you going to do? And it makes me.
The idea is really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's unfortunate that there are so many doctors who become doctors because it pays well rather than to help people. Because that's what happens a lot of times. People become doctors because they want the money or they want the power or status rather than wanting to help those in need of medical assistance.
Which is really the goal.
Yeah, that's what it should be, and that's what the job of a doctor is. It isn't to be in charge of a department or an administrator or be able to tell nurses or interns what to do. It's to save people, I guess. Because we discussed immigrants and moving to new places and experiencing new things, we'll be playing the Dvorak Symphony No. 9, the New World Symphony.